Kids. So, hello everyone, I am Miss Laura. I run Baby Ballet, Romford Central, Chelmsford, Brentwood and Billericay. And welcome to anyone else who is from Baby Ballet South Woodford or Baby Ballet East Thurrock, Langdon and Leigh-on-Sea. Very, very nice to have you. I thought this would be easy to try this year. To try and answer any questions that you've got about the show, especially as we've got lots of new people that are taking part for the first time, and anyone else that has been before and done a show before. It's also handy just for a little recap. If you've got any questions at any point, feel free to pop them in the chat and I will try and answer them as best I can. Hopefully I'll cover everything you need to know anyway. So let's get properly started. So the show takes place on the 2nd of July this year. It is at the Thurrock Civic Centre on Blackshots Lane, which is in Grays, quite near Lakeside Shopping Centre, if you don't know the area too well. There's a huge car park on site, lots of free parking. The car park is shared with the gym that's next door, which sometimes does take up some spaces, but because it is a Sunday, there's lots of free parking in the nearby streets as well. So if you can't quite get a spot in the car park, then there's lots of other free parking nearby. On show day, we're going to have 3 shows, 10:30, 1:30 and 4:30. The show runs at about 90 minutes, so even if your little ones are in the last show, it should end by 6 and we should have them all back out to you by about 6:15. So hopefully it's not too late to be getting home. We will try and have our older children in that last show because hopefully they stay up a little bit later than the really young ones. So we try to accommodate everyone as best we can. There are 5 or 6 sections in each show and your child will be in one section. Each section, every single child gets their own little entry onto stage. So they get their own little moment in the spotlight, which is lovely. And then as a group, they will do 3 numbers as their class group. Those groups are normally about 15 to 20 children. And then, hey Miss Keeley. And then at the end of the show, everyone will come back on stage all together and we'll do one final song as the whole cast, as well as Real Twinkle and Teddy and Flutterstar the Fairy, Grandad Jack and Chuck the Cowboy, who are our Baby Ballet characters, who sort of tell the whole story throughout the show. So for everyone to take part, you need to pay a show fee, and I'm just going to share my screen with you and then I can show you what the show fees look like. Here we go. So this year we've got 3 different packages that you can pick from. Basic package, which is £20, standard package, which is what we normally do, which is £25, and then we've also got a premium package, which is £45. So this link was sent out in your email, and it will be resent nearer the time as well. All the places must be booked by the 30th of April, so you've still got about 6 weeks. So don't go into panic mode and my child's not going to get a space. We've got plenty of spaces for everyone. As long as we have this package booked by the 30th of April, you will definitely get space in the show. I'm just going to talk you through these quickly. They're pretty well laid out down here anyway, so you'll be able to see what each package contains. Basically, the difference between the basic and the standard is that the standard one includes one of the DVDs of the show, which will look like this. You get it nice and close to the screen so you can see it. And inside as well, nice little DVD. So that will be of your child's show. If you pick the basic package and actually you decide you do want one, or if you want to buy any additional DVDs after the show, you can do. They are £10 each. To order either on the day of the show, or the weeks afterwards. You can do that. So that's included in the standard and the premium package. All the packages include a place in the show, a certificate, which your child will get on show day, that looks like this, and it will have their name on it. And they will also get, brand new for this year, our Baby Ballet Show t-shirts. Are you ready? Da-da-da! How cute are these? And they say, I'm a Baby Ballet Show star. And if I move it slightly, you can hopefully see that they've got little holographic stars on and little holographic things on the front as well. Flutterstar here has got lovely glittery point shoes. So everyone who takes part in the show will get one of these t-shirts. Each of the t-shirts will have a different character on. Here's Teddy. And of course, we've got Twinkle Bear. We can't not have Twinkle now, can we? Here's Twinkle. So everyone who takes part will get a Baby Ballet Show t-shirt to wear on the day. This is so we can easily spot who's in what group. So when we check all the children in, whatever character they're in, as soon as we get them backstage, we can get them in the right section, and it's just easier for us to keep track of who's who. We will also have extra t-shirts for sale on the day. So if anyone else wants to buy an extra t-shirt, then you're more than welcome. On the day to purchase, they're £5. That's that. Also, all our packages include costume hire. All our costumes are rented for the day and then hired out by the children to wear on stage. Our costumes are absolutely beautiful. You are more than welcome to purchase a costume if you want to. Most of them come from America, so with the exchange rate being quite poor at the moment, you're looking at about £60 to £120 per costume. So if you did want to buy one, let us know. We do also need about a 3-month lead time to be able to get it. So if you order one now, we'll be able to have it for the show. If you decide show day that you want a costume, then it's probably not going to arrive until about October, November time, because they do take quite a while. That's that. And then, as I said, the standard package gets a DVD of the show as well, which from previous years, lots of little ones have absolutely loved watching themselves on TV. Then we have our premium package as well this year, which will also include your child's name, which will be put on their t-shirt. Includes 10% off of any Baby Ballet merchandise bought on the day, as well as a good luck message printed in the programme. Come back to that in a minute, as well as an actual programme on the day, and then a good luck video from Flutterstar the fairy herself. So those are our free 3 packages. Whatever package you decide to go with, click on book now and it will take you through to this form to fill in. We need your child's name and then the class that they attend, whatever one it might be, your email address so that we can get in touch with you easily, and also an emergency contact number for the day, just in case little ones get upset or anything happens backstage and we need to reach you as soon as possible. So whatever number will be most suitable on the day. We'll check these a little bit closer to the time as well, because we know people change numbers and things, so we'll check a week or two before. Then you just need to give permission that the show will also be filmed, that you agree to pay the show fee, and what size t-shirt you need. If they're in school, we need to know what school they go to. We have to fill in, we have to get a licence for every single child who takes part in the show, which is why we need these back in by the 30th of April, because we have to get those licences off to the council 2 months before the show. And if they're in full-time education, they have to check with the school that we're not taking them out of school time in order to do the show. And then any medical information that we might need to know, any allergies or just anything that you might think would be useful for the chaperones to have backstage. Just going to stop this for 1 second so you can stare at me again. The rehearsals are all done in class time, so you don't have to come along to any extra rehearsals. So they're all done during class time. We'll gradually teach the children all the dances starting sort of after Easter and in the lead up to the show. So they've got about 2 months to learn those 3 songs that they are part of. About 2 weeks before the show, you will get a bag in class, which will have your child's show t-shirt in, that you've ordered. If you've gone for the premium package and it's got their name on it, it will have their name on it. You'll also get a letter like this, which is all the important information you should need to know. So please make sure you keep hold of it. It is double-sided. There isn't that much information. It has on here what you need to wear. So all children need to arrive in plain black trousers, any sort of trousers, jogging bottoms, leggings, even like a really thick pair of tights is okay, and their show t-shirt. And then for girls, white frilly ankle socks. For boys, black socks, and also their ballet shoes. What did I do with my ballet shoes today? We need ballet shoes with elastics sewn in, just so that they're not flying off on stage. Or, you know, they come off and little one stops to pull them back on. We want them to try and do as much dancing as possible while they're on stage. If you haven't seen, our new baby ballet ones actually come with this pre-sewn, which is very handy. And also, we need a suede sole, or vegan equivalent. Doesn't matter if the shoes are leather or satin, but the sort of dress-up shoes you get from some shops, with the like cardboardy, like almost a slipper. They're not really ideal. They're a little bit too slippery to have on stage. So if we can have shoes with a proper suede or vegan equivalent sole, it's much, much preferred. So we don't want any little ones slipping and hurting themselves while they're on stage. That wouldn't be good. So we need to turn up black trousers, show t-shirt that you'll be given, white frilly socks for girls, black socks for boys, and ballet shoes with elastics on. Please don't put anything else on them. No vests underneath t-shirts. They will be taken straight downstairs to get changed into their costumes. And although everything gets put in a carrier bag with their name on it, the less we can have backstage, the better, because inevitably a few things do end up wandering off. We do try to keep track of everything, but if we can have no vests underneath, really, really handy for us and all the chaperones as well. Also on this letter that you'll get 2 weeks before is how we need their hair. Either, you'll find out again before the show, either in a nice high ponytail back of the head, like that, or the same but in a bun, or 2 bunches on the side of the head. I'm not going to do that one properly because I'll look like a 3-year-old. The reason we have that is we want all the groups to look as uniformed as possible. Also, bunches on the side of the head. A lot of our costumes have like a headdress or a hat. And if we've got bunches on the side of the head, we can tie ribbon onto the headdress and to the bunches so that hopefully they don't slip down and cover their eyes, so that they're not dancing like this and not being able to see what they're doing. So if you can't do hair for any reason, I know my mum wasn't ever any good at hair when we were growing up, just let one of the teachers know or arrive a couple of minutes before your arrival time, and we'll try and help you put it up as best as we can. Also on this letter will be your arrival time. We stagger the arrival times from 45 minutes before the show up to half an hour before the show, and there's up to 100 children in each show, so obviously 100 people arriving en masse can be quite daunting, especially for the little ones that can get a little bit nervous. So we give you a 10-minute slot in order to arrive. We can't take anyone in for the show if you arrive after 15 minutes before the show. So please make sure you're as much on time in your arrival slot as possible. Once it gets to 15 minutes before the show, we open the doors to allow everyone to come in, find their seats, etc., etc. So we can't have any little ones trying to get in backstage after we've opened the doors. So please make sure you arrive on time. Backstage, everyone who is backstage is a licensed chaperone. Legally, we're not allowed anyone backstage who is not a chaperone. If you would like to be a chaperone yourself, you need to contact the council that you pay your council tax to. Each council varies from place to place, but you will need to apply and be accepted for a DBS check, and then they will issue your chaperone licence, either by attending sometimes a half-day course or a one-day course, or they will do a little Q&A session with you, or sometimes if you've already got an existing teaching qualification, they won't need you to do the course, but they'll do a little Q&A with you. But legally we can only have licensed chaperones backstage. What else do I need to tell you? We don't ask that anyone wears makeup. Obviously the children are very little, although if you want to put a little bit of glitter on them or a little bit of glitter in their hair, that's absolutely fine. But we don't need like a full-on false eyelashes, red lipstick, unless you really, really want to. But I wouldn't advise it because they will stand out against everyone else. Ideally, if we can have light-coloured knickers on, that is preferable. A couple of the costumes are light colours, and obviously if we've got like a darker underwear on, or like a bright red knicker, for example, with a white tutu, doesn't look too good. So if we can have plain white underwear, that's also really handy for us. So on the day, you will arrive hopefully within your 10-minute slot-ish. There'll be a dedicated check-in desk where you can come and check in, and it'll be myself, Miss Keeley and Miss Karen on check-in. And then we have all of your children's teachers taking them to and from the changing rooms, so that if they're a little bit nervous, hopefully they'll recognise their teacher, and their teacher will be able to get them all excited by the time they get downstairs and to the chaperones. Children will be taken downstairs, helped to change into their costumes, and we make a nice big deal out of it. Like, oh, isn't this fantastic? Can you find your costume with your name on it? Oh, that one's yours, brilliant, you're going to look amazing. Because obviously it is quite a big ask for some children. It can be a little bit nerve-wracking. It might be the first time that they've been left with someone who isn't a family member, so we try to make it as easy and as exciting as possible. When you're dropping your child off, if you're excited, they'll be excited. If you're really nervous, they'll pick up on it and they'll be really nervous. So if you can sort of talk to them in the car on the way there and be like, oh, isn't it brilliant? You're going to go on stage and you're going to see real Twinkle and real Teddy and dance with all your friends. That's brilliant. Whereas if you're like, oh, you're going to be okay, aren't you? You'll be all right. They'll pick up on that and obviously be really nervous themselves. So the more excited we can get them. Chaos for some of the chaperones backstage if they're all excited and bouncing off the walls, but we would much rather have that than them all be really, really nervous. Once they've got changed into their costume, we have Carmel Jane, who are a photography company who do loads and loads of the baby ballet shows, taking their photos, and they have a nice little setup, and then these are available to purchase. Sometimes they get them out before the show, but generally after the show, just so that they've got enough time to print them all off and get them out. And you will have an option of 2 photos. They put them in a little package. There'll be a full-length one, and then a close-up sort of head and shoulders shoot, and they are absolutely beautiful. They're absolutely lovely, and I think every year we've sold every single photo because they're just adorable and they look so cute in their little costumes. To purchase on the day, I should have written down the sizes. I can't remember what size they are, sorry. They're this sort of size. And they are 2 photos for £12 in the package. If you want different sizes or to order more, you can talk to Carmel Jane on the day and they'll do that. If for some reason you miss them on the day, it's not a problem. They will also give us their website with a password. And we'll send that out a day or 2 after the show usually, and you can go online, pop in the password, and order any additional photos that you want. So they'll be taken when children are in the changing room. Once they've had their photo taken, we have lots of colouring going on. We have a few films to watch, or usually we put on last year's show so that they get all excited. And if there's a few that have been in last year's show, they're like, oh, look, I'm on the telly. And they usually remember all the dances, which I'm really impressed about, and start sort of joining in and doing what they were doing last year, which is brilliant. A couple of our teachers do like a little class with them, and we'll do a couple of songs to get them all excited. Flutterstar the fairy will come down and meet them all downstairs as well. we don't have Twinkle come and meet them downstairs because Twinkle can be a little bit large, and some children are a little bit nervous of large Twinkle. And so we wait to meet large Twinkle until the end of the show when we're all on stage together, and then she's not sort of invading into their space. So just Flutterstar, the fairy, comes down to meet them, and they all get very excited by her, though, because she is a real fairy, and the question she is asked most is if she can fly, but she can't when the grown-ups are around, I'm afraid, in case little one asks. Then once it's their time to go on stage, they'll be taken up onto stage, and as I explained, they all get a little solo section to come onto stage first, and they'll then do 3 dances as a group, and they'll then go back downstairs, get changed back into their t-shirt and trousers, and then do some more colouring, watch another little bit of a film while all the other sections are going on. And then at the end of the show, we all come back on stage and we all dance with Twinkle and Teddy and our fantastic characters. We then try and get the children back to you as quickly as possible after the show. We sit them all on stage, we give them all out their certificates, which, if you weren't here earlier, look like this. And so they'll get their certificate on the day for doing well in the show. And then we try, like I said, we try to get the children back out as quickly as possible to you. If you can listen to us as much as possible, we'll get your children out a lot quicker. So we let them all go from the door to the right of the stage. And we ask that just one grown-up comes to get each child. Because obviously I know the whole family want to come and give them a huge hug and tell them well done. But as I said, we have up to 100 children in the show. And if we've got even 200 parents surrounding that door, that's absolute chaos for us. So if we can have one parent for each child come and collect them, we can get all the children out as soon as possible, and we will call them group at a time. So we will call them by groups of the character that is on their t-shirt. So we might say, can all the Twinkle Bear parents come and meet their children next to the side of the stage? So if then parents can come up and get them, we can get children out to you as quickly as possible. We do need to make sure that we're checking them all out. I'm sure you can understand, for safety, we want to make sure that every single child is going with exactly the right parent. So until the teacher they usually have has seen, ideally, the parent they usually come with, we won't let them go. If we don't know what parent, what adult they're going with, we will keep them back until we know what parent they are going with. Tickets are on sale from the 14th of May. And let me show you the tickets, how to buy them. Here they are. All of our tickets this year are going to be purchased through Ticket Source. We found last year that a lot of people wanted to choose what seats they're in. Understandably, you can do that anywhere else you go and see a show. So this was the best solution that we have come up with. So when you log on, whoops, I want this one. On the wrong thing. I'll just set up a sample one so I can show you what to do. When you log on, you'll see a page like this. Please make sure you select the right time. You will know your child's time by the time tickets go on sale. So please make sure you check the right time, and then you can click Book Now. And it will take you through to this screen. From here, you can select what section you want to sit in. All the sections are priced the same. Tickets are £10 for adults and £8 for concessions. If there's a child sitting on your lap, free, that's not a problem. So you can pick whether you want the left side, the centre, or the right, or this section at the back is the tiered seating at the back. So if you wanted the centre, for example, you'll click on the centre and pick how many tickets you want. For example, so as I said, they're £10 each for regular tickets and £8 for concessions. There is a booking fee for using this site, but we hope that it will help the fact that you'll be able to pick your own seats. And then you'll click next after you've picked how many that you want, and then you can select what seats you want. Ta-da! It won't let you leave an empty seat. If you do try to leave an empty seat, it will say that you can't leave. any empty seats. But once you have selected where you want to sit, the arrows point to the front. Again, click next. And then you just need to put in what baby ballet you come to. So either Romford, Chelmsford, Brentwood and Billericay, South Woodford, or East Thurrock and Leigh-on-Sea. And whatever one you select, click next. And then it will take you to a payment screen. You can check your seat numbers up here, that you've got the correct time up here, how many tickets you've bought here, and then it will ask you how you want to pay. So either by PayPal, but there is an additional fee of 20 pence per ticket, or a credit or debit card. And then you can select how you want your tickets delivered to you. So either an e-ticket and they'll be emailed to you and you can print them off on the day, and as you come in we'll scan each of your tickets, or you can have tickets sent to your mobile, or you can have tickets posted to you directly as well. And then you just need to tick this box to say you confirm, and then you'll check out, pop in your email address and fill in all of that information. So as I said, tickets go on sale on the 14th of May. They're going to go on sale at 8 p.m. Hopefully this is a good time for people, and you've hopefully got little ones in bed by then, fingers crossed, the majority of them. So hopefully that's a good time for everyone. It will be emailed around again in advance. Don't worry if you forget. I forget everything, so I make sure I try and tell you as often as possible, and as much information as possible as well. Then on the day, as I said, we'll need to see those tickets so we can scan them and check that you have purchased enough and where you're sitting. If you have purchased a package that includes a DVD, as I mentioned earlier, that will be available a week or two after the show. Hopefully we'll have them back in time for the end of term, and then they'll be available to pick up in your class. Fingers crossed. As I mentioned earlier, we do have show programs. Each of these has a little area where you can put a little picture of your little one, or they can draw a picture of themselves in the show, and then they can say what their name is, who they were in the show. They'll each have the section that they're in, there'll be a certain character, and then what I did, so they can say like I danced with my friends, etc. It has a little bit of information about all of the teachers and about baby ballet, and it also has every single child's name who is in the show. If you've purchased our premium package this year, it will also have a page for little good luck messages, which is included in the premium package. And also get a programme in that package as well. If not, they're available to purchase for £2 on the day. If yourselves or anyone you know runs a business in the local area, we do sell adverts in the back of the programmes. So please feel free to get in touch and we can send you a rate card for those. They start at £35 for adverts. So please feel free to let us know if you do know anyone that would like to purchase an advert in the programme. And then once your little one is all done with the show, they will be full of energy, I'm sure, and very, very exciting, and very, very excited even. And then you'll hear about it probably for the next year and a half because they absolutely love being in the show. It is a fantastic little confidence booster for all the children. The majority of them absolutely love doing it. Obviously, we do get one or two who are a bit nervous, but as teachers and as chaperones, we try our best to calm everyone down, to get them to at least come on stage, even if they sometimes do get a little bit upset. We will judge it backstage. If we think it's just a little, oh, I miss mummy, then, we'll give it 5 minutes and come back and assess how they are. If they're really screaming the place down because they absolutely, can't be without you, then of course we'll give you a ring and ask you what you want us to do. Because some children are like that for a couple of minutes, first of all, anyway, and you might say to us, no, they'll be fine in a couple of minutes. Ring me back in 2 minutes if they still haven't calmed down, that sort of thing. We would, of course, offer you, the option of what you want to do. So hopefully that has answered most of your questions. If you have got any questions you want to ask straight away, please feel free to pop them in the chat, and I will answer them now as best I can. If you've got any questions between now and show day, or the day before the show, please either drop myself an email at romfordcentral@babyballet.co.uk, or you can drop Miss Keeley or Miss Karen an email as well. If they don't know the answer, they can forward it on to me, and I'll answer as best as I can. In the letter that you'll get 2 weeks before the show is my mobile number as well. If on show day you've got any questions, or anything's cropped up that you desperately need to know, please send me a text. I won't be able to answer the phone because I will be running around like a headless chicken, as I normally am, or I might even be on stage, and I'm not that clever as to have a conversation on the phone and dance at the same time. I wish I was. It would make my life a lot easier sometimes. So please drop me a text on the day, but up to the day, please send me an email, or give me a ring, and I'll be able to answer any of your questions. I haven't seen anything come in yet, so hopefully that has answered all of your questions. I'll give it another minute in case anyone has got anything they want to ask, and then if not, I'll say goodbye and go and have another cup of tea. Let's see. I'm going to check my notes as well, check I haven't missed anything out. I don't think I have. So the only important things you need to know at the moment are booking a place in the show. You need to make sure you've done that by the 30th of April. And then once we've got all of those back, the first week of May, you'll find out what time show your child is in and what section they're in. And then from the 14th of May, tickets will go on sale at 8 p.m. Well, I haven't seen any questions. As I said, if you have got any, then drop me an email anytime and I will answer. Or feel free to ask Miss Keeley and Miss Karen as well. Well, I'm going to go now. Have a lovely, lovely evening, everyone. And hopefully I'll see you show day. Bye, everybody.